Did you see her spine decompress? Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about spinal traction, hanging from a pull-up bar. Is this right for your back and helping you fix low back pain? No doubt for some people, traction treatment can help relieve back pain. But for others, it can be the exact opposite of what we want to do. Like for Stephanie, you can drop on down. How does your back feel with that?
It hurts.
It hurts more. So today, guys, we're gonna tackle the truth about what spinal decompression and traction treatment actually does, if it's right for you, and if it's not, what you should do instead.
Get up and get down, get up and get down.
So traction treatment has been hailed as a game changer for fixing low back pain, sometimes providing immediate relief for some and helping people with chronic low back pain relieve their symptoms for good. But is it right for everyone? Well, let's first start by just understanding what does traction treatment or decompression, what does it actually do to the spine? Well, what it does is create a traction pull. So if it's pulling up here and down here, we're pulling the spine apart slightly. Now what that does is actually help the disc suck in some fluid content, and it can help elongate your spine just slightly, a few centimeters sometimes. Now here's the deal. This only occurs and lasts for a little bit of time. So when you jump off that pull-up bar, you may actually be a slight bit taller, but it's probably only going to last a few minutes. You start walking around again, the spine's gonna go back to its normal height. Now, who is this correct for? Well, for some people, usually my older athletes, maybe my 60, 70-year-old patients, or people who lift weights and maybe can't get through a very long workout without their back tightening up a lot, this may actually help provide a little bit of relief to their backs. People that maybe can only walk for so many minutes without their back hurting. Traction treatment may be helpful for them, but it's not right for everyone. And let me show you someone it's not right for. So Stephanie, I'm gonna have you jump on this bed right here. This is a test that I perform on my patients called a prone instability test. I'm gonna have her lay over the edge of the bed and she's going to relax her back muscles as much as possible. Legs are just hanging over the bed like this. Now from right here, I apply a shear load to different parts of her spine. So I start down low, we apply a little bit of a shearing load. Then we go up to the next one, just pushing on the different segments. And eventually, yep, right there, we found one. If you saw, she almost jumped off the bed. So at that particular segment, I pushed down and it created a little bit of shear load, and that hurt pretty good, correct?
Yes.
Now, all I'm going to do, let's find that spot one more time, about right there. Okay, I'm gonna have you pick your legs off the bed. Okay, now right here, I'm going to push down again. How's that feel?
Nothing.
No pain. Stephanie has what's called an instability. So if you look at this disc designs model right here, this particular segment has a little bit more motion than the other ones. That's called an instability. And whenever you have those micro movements that trigger your pain, that shows that hanging from a pull-up bar and decompressing your spine actually is creating more motion at that part of your spine and triggering symptoms. So for you, doing decompression hangs would actually be the worst thing for your back. So what do we do in that case? Your spine needs stability. Now, a lot of times people will want to do decompression hangs or spinal traction treatments because their back feels stiff. So here's two things that I want you to do instead of hanging. The first one is called a cat camel. Now what we're gonna do right here is pull up this way. So you're gonna arch your back here and then go down nice and slow. And what we're doing is we're moving the spine through a range of motion into flexion and into extension. Nice and slow, going about 3 seconds through each cycle. In something like this, we're not pushing hard into end range. So this is not a stretch. This is a light mobility movement for the spine. And technically, this is also giving us a little bit of nerve glide. So for some people that have nerve-like symptoms, this can be helpful. But all I want to do with this is 6 to 8 cycles, no more than that. And for a lot of people that have a lot of back stiffness, this can be helpful at alleviating some of those symptoms. And especially if you have instability, like I showed right here, this would be a better option. After doing some cat camels, For someone who has instability, obviously rather than doing traction, we want to work on spine stiffness and stability. So how do we work on that? We learn how to properly brace while we do things throughout the day. So what I would have her do is just put her fingers into her stomach, and she is going to breathe and brace in a way that pushes her hands laterally. So from right here, very good. Push them to the side. Let's do that one more time. So relax, so I can push the hands in and then engage your abs, pushes the hands out to the side. Now that bracing technique, she is going to then do whenever she performs any type of hinging motion. So whether she's coming over to pick up a weight off the ground, so let's come over and just demonstrate that. Before she starts, she's going to brace and then move about her hips to pick up the weight. Things like that will add up over time because she's able to keep her spine in a more stable position rather than how most people would just lackadaisically bend over and come back, moving their spine under load. That's often what's creating these symptoms culminating over time. So the more you can keep your spine stable and move about your hips for someone with spine instability, the more you can wind down symptoms and have more pain-free days. So there we go. So the big thing, guys, is to understand that there is no one size fits all when it comes to fixing back pain. There is no shortage of videos circulating around social media today of people that are hanging and finding some relief for their back pain, or saying that it's the best way to find relief for their back pain. If you're someone who hangs from a pull-up bar and gets more pain after, or you're likely someone that is rolling over in bed and having some back pain, or bending over and feeling a quick shot of pain, you're the person that likely has more of an unstable spine. And you would benefit from, instead of hanging from a pull-up bar, doing a cat-camel drill and doing some spine stability drills and just making sure that you're moving about your hips. So I hope you guys liked today's quick video on whether or not you should be using spinal traction and decompression to fix your back pain, and hopefully we'll be on the right track for fixing your pain and getting back to doing everything you want to do. Until next time, guys, happy squatting.
They say that energy flows where attention goes, so I pay no mind. Why waste my time with all these negative cats scratching? So caught up in their egos, these people have lost.